Hello, my lovely, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Today I'm back again with new chapters. Hopefully, you are finding all my videos informative. Please let me know in the comments what you think and don't forget to share your doubt as well. I will do my best to solve them for you. So, without any delay, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, now let's start with the justice card. The image on this card is typically a woman holding symbols of justice. She is usually positioned between two pillars representing the need for balance and duality in life. The figure typically sits or stand on stone steps. The steps represent the path every person take to justice. It is not an easy one without obstacles, but the ones involved are easily overcome. In the Rider Waite deck, she is seated and is adorned in rich red and gold robes. A sword is held upright in one hand, representing the double edged nature of karma. The scale of justice are in her other hand. In the gilded deck, she is blindfolded to signify the pure, impartial nature of justice. Her hands are outstretched to the heavens, representing knowledge and wisdom. 11 is considered a master number in tarot numerology. It represents create energy, intuition, and rightness. The justice card is one representing logical, rational balance. It indicates a sense of peace and justice that is acquired through intellect rather than emotion. This card often appears when querent need to focus on achieving a balanced mind if they wish to come up with a fair and reasonable solution to their problem. Justice often appear when legal matters are at play, especially those that have yet to be concluded. The card tells the querent that the eventual decision fall on the side of what is right, but does not always clear which position that happens to be. Typically, the outcome of favorable for the querent. So the next is the hangman. The hanging man is typically depicted as a man suspended upside down by one leg. He does not look pained, anguished, or even upset at the situation. In most deck, included the Rider Waite deck and the gilded deck, his hands are not bound and the viewer get the impression that he could release himself at any time. As a result, he may be suspended by choice. This represents a Norse myth involving Odin, who suspended himself from the tree of life for 9 days so he could achieve alignment. Voluntarily suffering to acquire knowledge, wisdom, and insight is commonly undertaken in many cultures to help the individual in question understand more about life, themselves, and the nature of happiness and sorrow. In tarot numerology, once you reach the number 11, the meaning becomes a bit more difficult to the define to find the correct association. You need to add the two number together. If you want to find the meaning of 12, you would add 1 plus 2 to get 3. The numerological association for the hanging man is therefore 3. In the context of this card, 3 represents growth, growth through sacrifice and reflection. The hanging man typically appeals to querents who feel stuck in life, but who also have the power to move forward if they only examine the situation from another point of view. Encourage the querent to approach their initial question from another angle, suggesting that there may be a way to release themselves from their current state of suffering. This card also represents self sacrifice and delayed gratification in some cases. People need to let go of certain idea or other people in their lives if something better is to come along. At other times, the current may need to delay gratification to fulfill obligations. Remind them that this card does not mean they need to delay satisfaction forever, just for the immediate future while they work to achieve other goals. So, next is the death card. Most representations of this card depict a skeleton wearing black armor and holding a black flag featuring a white rose. The horse in the image is associated with strength and freedom. The white rose represents purity and purpose. 13 is another special number in the tarot deck. Instead of adding the 3 and 1 to make 4, 13 holds its own meaning. This is the number of change and of karmic debt. It means we need to be open to the lessons and energy around us, lest we harm or cause injury to another. Death is one of the most misunderstood card in the deck. It does not mean the end of life. Instead, it represents the end of one phase and the start of another. This card appears to current who are experiencing a period of major changes or transition in their lives. The card reminds us that with each end, there is another beginning. This card also reminds current that they need to be open to change if they are to benefit from all that life has to be offer. Being open to experiences is the best way to learn from our actions, both positive and negative. When this card appears to current seeking direction, it means they need to reflect on their past and figure out what lesson they missed. So next card is the Temperance. Temperance often depict a heavenly figure, typically an angel pouring water from one cup into another. This represents the flow and balance necessary to sustain harmony in life. In the Rider-Waite deck, there is a sun in the background and water in the foreground, representing the balance between the masculine and feminine, as well as between logic and emotion. The Gilded deck emphasizes this duality a bit more, contrasting image of fire and water, as well as gold and silver. The Temperance card is the 14th card in the deck. As a result, its tarot numerology number is 5. In the case of this card, it represents changes but also need for balance. Temperance encourages current to practice moderation, patience, and balanced emotions. It represents successful dealing with opposing force if the situation is approached with diplomacy and balanced thought. As long as there is harmony and compatibility, the perfect union can occur. It can also represent reconciliation and forgiveness. The card reminds Quarant that they need to approach life with patience and a balanced attitude. It is important to let life happen as it happens instead of trying to force event to occur. Make sure you remind the Quarant to remain flexible. The universe unfold as it should. Depending on the spread, the temperance card can mean healing. So the next card is the devil, a masculine figure with horn is typically depicted on this card. This is a pentacle in the background, signify the earthy aspect of the physical being. The card also shows a male and female figure in the rider waite deck, each with a tail of flames. In the gilded deck, the figures are absent, but imagery represent to masculine and feminine aspect of life. 15 becomes 6 in tarot numerology, which is the number of balance and harmony. This may appear to be in contrast to the seemingly negative aspect of the card. However, it represents the need of balanced thought if harmony is to be achieved. This card typically appears to Quarants who feel dragged down, helpless, or enslaved by a particular situation. This situation can be a toxic situation, an idea that ultimately hold you back, an addiction or an abusive relationship. The main message is the currently feels powerless and without control. In a situation they want to escape. It is important to remind the Quarant that they do have the power to leave. The devil figure in their life, the one causing the enslavement, is the reason they feel they lack agency. This card tells the Quarant they can leave and that there are other options available. Depending on the surrounding cards, the devil can also represent some secrecy. So the next card is the tower card. The tower is represented by a crumbling tower struck by lightning. Flames pour out of the top of the tower as people are seen falling from the windows. In both the rider waite deck and the gilded deck, the figures are shown falling head first into the unknown. In these images, the tower represents man-made structure. Sometimes this man-made structure are filled with lies, falsehoods, and other destructive concepts. The distraction from the heavens send the message that objective truth will set you free, though not without a leap of faith. The number associated with the tower card is 7. 7 is the number of reflection, wisdom, and discovery. It also represents faith, believing in that which cannot be seen but non must exist. All buildings structured without a solid foundation come apart at the same point. This card represents the dismantling of events, people, or situations built on illusion or false belief. In some cases, This happens because the current can see the situation for what it is true. The card may seem unsettling. These current are usually happy to learn that an opportunity to rebuild on the more stable ground is in their future. In other situation, however, this card is not so well received. It may indicate a sudden and unexpected change that the current does not feel prepared to undertake. The other card in the spread typically indicate the nature of the change, giving your current some guidance and a bit of a warning. Make sure you read the tower in context with the other cards. So next is the star card. The star feature a young woman pouring water from two pitchers nearby or into a stream. She is typically depicted naked with star in her hair. Her nudity represents truth, hope, peace, and faith are reflected in the surrounding star. The stream symbolizes emotion and the human subconscious. The picture represents the logic and the conscious mind. As the woman poured them into the stream, they renew the waters, restoring balance. The star is represented by the number 8. 8 is number of rebirth, attainment, and renewal. This is an excellent card to see in any spread. The star represents hope, optimism, and faith. It tells the current they can trust the universe to provide what they need and indicate better time ahead. It also represents success, motivating current to go after they want what they want. When this card appears as part of a spread answering a question about relationship, it represents healing. Quite often, the current has concern about the fight of or disagreement with a family member, friend, or loved one. This star means that reconciliation and forgiveness can be attained and that there is hope for the future. If your current has recently started a new relationship, this star indicate a positive and happy future. Currents who are healing from a toxic or negative relationship may seek answer about their future love life. If the star appears, you can assure them that they can leave the past behind them. New, healthy, and happy relationships are in the future. So the next is the moon card. In most decks based on Rider-Waite deck, the moon card feature wolves or dogs howling at the large moon suspended in the sky. The card usually feature two pillars representing the duality of life, along with a stream reflecting the human subconscious in the foreground. The moon is represented by the number 9. 9 is the number of wisdom, inspiration, and completion. In the context of the moon, the number 9 warns the current to listen to their subconscious because all the wisdom they need is within. When the moon appears in a spread, it often indicates depiction or uncertainty. The moon also represents changing emotion. It tends to appear to currents who need help trusting their own instinct. Quite often, current already has the answers they need. They just need help finding them within. The surrounding cards in this spread can help provide your current with direction. This card can also warn people against jumping to conclusion. The light of the moon can play trick on the eyes. So, it is important to take a step back and carefully evaluate the situation before proceeding. It may also warn a parent against trusting a new person too quickly. So, card is the Sun. The Sun is the card's most prominent figure, dominating the view. In the Rider Waite deck, there is a young figure riding a horse, carrying a red flag in the foreground. This represents truth and triumphs. In the Gilded deck, the Sun is joined by other celestial body held in perfect orbit. In tarot, the number 10 represents necessarily ending leading to happy new beginning. The Sun is one of the most positive card in the deck. Even most current understand to optimism and hope brought by this particular card. Depending on the context, the Sun represents a happy marriage, the new beginning of a new relationship, prosperity, and excellent health. When this card appears in a spread, make sure you advise the current to take action and make the most out of current situation. If they can do this, happiness and good fortune are in the near future. So next card is the Judgment card. Judgment depicts a messenger, typically one that resembles an angel. The figure is high in the heavens and uses a trumpet to spread its message to those on the ground below. The figures rising to greet the word of the messenger are usually naked, symbolizing their desired truth. The tarot number associated with judgment is 2. This number often represents the dual nature of life. When it is associated with judgment, it symbolizes choice, reconciliation, and consist and consequence. The Judgment card is also known as the Karma card, as it represents the result of the action of the current or someone in their life. If the individual has worked hard, they can expect to finally see reward and recognition for their hard work. Individuals who have cheated or deceived other can also expect to see repercussion for their action. The Judgment also represent restoration, renewal, and rebirth. It lets the current know that they can move on and make a new start, but wants them to evaluate their current situation and determine what lessons they can learn. So next card is the World card. This card usually shows a female dancer standing confidently in the middle of a wreath of laurel leaves. She holds a white wand in either hand and is bathed in golden light. Each aspect of the image symbolizes the perfect union of all things. The number associated with the World card is 3, representing achievement, abundance, and creativity. The World card brings together each lesson learned in the Major Arcana. It assures strength and victory to the current, but only after hard work, reflection, and dedication. Rewards must be earned. Current frustrated with their current position in life are often relieved to see the world card, as it means their labor and efforts may soon pay off. This card can also indicate a new home, a trip, or other venture that bring the current joy. So guys, all your cards are complete. Please make sure to quickly review all the card videos properly. In tomorrow's video, I will conclude the last chapter along with all the important information related to the deck. Make sure to watch the final video as well. Also, please let me know in the comments which topic you would like to learn next. I will start the next topic based on your preference. Thank you so much for staying with me. Bye, guys. Take care.